It's Walker Jenkins, the top-ranked player in North Carolina in the class of 2023, a Tar Heels commit playing for South Charlotte Panthers. Walker, man, appreciate the time.
Yes, sir, of course. Thank you for having me.
Center fielder, shortstop's a secondary position. Those spots just scream athleticism. What are those tools that you think stick out the most in your game?
Well, I think I have a good combination of size and athleticness. I don't think you see as many guys that are normally as big as me that can move as well, and I have very good speed in my mind and have pretty good lateral movement, so that allows me to play up the middle of the field, and they have good instincts out in center field, which allow me to get good jumps on the ball, and that's a big thing. So that's helped me out a lot, sir.
What do you think the key is to a good read in the outfield? Some guys will play a little bit more shallow and allow themselves to backpedal. Some guys want to come in on the ball. How do you approach that?
I really tried to read guys' swings, and obviously, depending on the pitcher, can change the swing. You have someone out there throwing 60 miles per hour, it's a lot more likely for someone to pull the ball. But you see good pitchers, and a lot of times I try to read the swing. Some guys are more on the fastball than the off speed, and some guys are more on the off speed than the fastball. But I typically like to play, I shade the backside gap, because most guys, when they stay through the ball, it's going to tail away from them. So I try to read it like that and stay behind balls. But typically the backside gap, and obviously, like you said, if you see guys are out in front, sometimes they'll get into one and pull a gap side, obviously, and just shade one way or the other depending on the guy's swing and who's pitching. So
I love your scouting report. It says plays the game hard. What does that mean to you, that mentality, playing the game hard?
I go out every day and I give it everything I got. I cannot remember a game where I feel like I didn't go out and do everything I could to help my team win. So I mean, I'm always hustling, I'm always trying my best, and I think that's what that means, sir.
What does it mean then to you to be a good teammate? Is that being a leader in the outfield, being the captain out there? Is it uplifting other guys? What does that concept mean?
It's all of the above. I mean, it's not hard to be a good teammate. A good teammate helps everybody. It helps your team. I mean, try to encourage others, constructive criticism, and just talk others up. I mean, that only helps the team. So,
how would you break down your mentality at the plate? Are you a guy that hunts fastballs? Do you look for spin? What is that process for you?
I'm definitely a guy that hunts fastballs, sir, especially as you start to see better competition. Guys have good fastballs, they'll be working mid-90s, and you hunt the fastball, you can adjust to the off speed. But if you're looking off speed, you have a 95 mile per hour fastball, it's much harder to react to that than the curveball. But I'm sitting fastball, trying to hunt the fastball and drive that. And then I try to pick up on spin out of the hand if they're throwing off speed, and staying through that and working backside gap with it and hitting it hard. So
here at the National Pro Game Invitational, I mean, there are just dudes everywhere. You know you're going to get challenged at the plate. How do you compartmentalize failure and allow that not to pick up and take it out in the field and carry into your next debut?
It's true. You hear everyone say you got to try your best to flush it, and that's what I do. I mean, obviously no one wants to fail, and I hate failing. No, I mean, despise it, but it's part of the game. Baseball, you fail more in this sport than any other sport, and that's how it is. And you can go out and put 3 amazing swings on the ball and go for 3. That's just how it is. And I go out and I try to look at it as if I feel like it was a successful at bat, I did something good, because like I said, I may put a great swing on a ball and get out, and it just happens. I try to look at it as I'm gonna go out and do everything I can to win, and if I'm 0 for 3 and we win, or 3 for 3 and we win, I mean, that's a success, and that's how I try to look at it at the end of the day.
You said you've been committed to the Tar Heels really early in the process. Obviously, that's a school with a great lineage in terms of their accomplishments on the field, but being a Carolina boy, I know there's a draw there, but ultimately, what was it that led you to Chapel Hill?
Definitely the coaching staff, sir. Just seemed like my type of people. Really liked how they coached the players. Liked how they made their players play the game, and then just the history, like you said. Carolina's just had such a good ball program for so long, and like this year they're doing very well in the Super Regional. Just continue to be successful, and that's one reason I want to go to a school that I thought I'd have success at, and the team would have success. So.
Well, you told us a little bit about you as a hitter. I'm going to have you grab your bat and take us through your setup.
Yes,
Sound
sir.
Good?
So I get in there. First thing I like to do is I like to get a nice balanced approach. I have a little bit of an open stance, and I try to think I'm going to keep the front side closed. I work with my hip right here. Try to keep this hip closed. It's almost a little bit of a rotation in, front shoulder, but with that hip being closed, it keeps everything else closed, especially off of lefty pitchers. Really got to work hard through the backside gap. But like I said earlier, I'm a fastball hitting guy. I look for the fastball and adjust to the curveball. That's the type of approach I try to take to every at bat. That's when I'm most successful. But overall, I feel like I just try to not think too much up there. I don't like thinking when I'm hitting. When I'm thinking is when you don't just react and play the game. So that's what I try to do. I just try to react, but like I said, I try to have a very nice balanced approach. I have a wide stance, a little bit open. If I'm keeping this front hip closed right here, that's when I'm very successful. I'm working backside through the left center field gap. I have the bat very loose in my hands until I go to swing. I try to create a very whippy swing. The whippier the swing is, the more power you're going to have. And another big thing is I try to create space with my swing. So with this back elbow right here, I try to keep it tucked to my body, so that allows you to work through the baseball. Obviously, most people have heard knob to the ball. There's a lot of truth into that. That's just a lot simpler way of putting it. I try to work knob to the baseball where this barrel lags through the zone, and you can whip through. And that's what creates a lot of power for me and for a lot of people. So then once I make contact and I'm working through the ball, for 3 balls deep is how you want to hit it. So you want to create what's called like a power box right here with your arms. That allows you to push instead of roll or kind of cast away from the baseball. And so I think that's one thing that's just allowed me to be so successful.
Walker, man, thank you so much for doing that. That was great. Make sure everybody hits that subscribe button on YouTube, LakePoint Sports. Follow us across social media. Get so much more of the athletes that come here to show out.